Hello, comrades. It's Premier River, and I am back again. And the city of Neuve Revergrad has reached a momentous milestone today. Well, not the city of Revergrad, but the city of Bricksville is almost completed. But almost more importantly, in a sense, our train tracks in here are almost all, or they are all completed as far as I know. I did, kind of went around and looked, made sure, well, at least the people in the corners had power. I think everything in here has power. I imagine there's something that doesn't, but I didn't build any footpaths. And because our people are like goats, this is actually a straight path, believe it or not. I mean, I know it doesn't look straight, but if you come and let's see what happens. Yeah, see it's sort of, well, this one I actually did put just so it didn't look totally ridiculous, but and this one had to go under here, but they're, yeah, from the angle here, they look quite crooked, but they're not quite as crooked as they look in any event. Our goat-footed people will do fine with that, so we need to get those built. But after those are built, and that is actually kind of an important thing, I think this is the, I don't think it matters too much. Well, I want to sign. Oh, are we going to be able to build these? Oh, yeah, we can because they're going to the roads. All right, see how they're going to the roads there? Because there's no entrance into the mines. Now, oh, this guy already found all those roads. That's good. Missing workers, yeah. Okay, now you're just like right in my way. It was probably bad enough the way it was, but did I get this one? Yeah, let's get that one and that one. Yeah, and then there'll be these little tiny bits that I didn't get. There should be one more or two more. All right, so once we get those, we should be able to start getting people to our coal mines. And then down here, these paths, I think we should be okay. I mean, I do see some footpaths. Uh-oh, what are we doing here? Oh, we're gang rushing the quarry, or the stone, which is good. So everybody's, look at all the trucks we have working. So if you guys didn't, we have, 5 construction offices right in this area to get that done. We're going to have a lot of people sitting around doing nothing. And this, the reason this is so momentous in a way is this is truly the last big construction project that I plan on doing. We're going to do our improvement to get some more food. And I'd like to do a few more things to just sort of see about exporting stuff and how well things are really working. We've built many things, but I've never really balanced out things in a final sense. So one of the things that happened to us, by the way, is we were down here in the end of the last episode. I have no idea why this happened. And if you look, there's like 4 cars, I think it is, sitting here. I tried to go to the depot. That just crashed it. So let's see. Brace yourselves for good. We just saved, right? That's perfect. So let's sell the vehicle. Yeah, okay, good. We could sell them at least. But I have no idea how to get those off the track. I tried to search the internet. Some searches are easier to make. Like, most of them are like, well, you send a train to the factory. It's like, well, yeah, but that's not my problem. My problem is that we got hung up in here. So what I would like to do here is I sent this train can go back and forth and pick up stuff from here. So I think I'd kind of like to keep that if we produce more things. And then we have one train set. I'm not 100% sure why we built that. And then I'm building another train here. We already have one in the work. So let's send this guy over to here. And then I was thinking of having 2 trains with 6 cars to get started. Now we need a train set. We were just talking about passengers over there, not. Yes, let's see where this guy is. He the bottom one? Yeah. So I'm going to put 6 cars on here. All right, so that's 2 trains, and then we're going to sort of wait, I think, for this one to be built. And then we know this guy can go to, what do you call it? Like into service. So let's see if we can't get him to get started and see how this goes. Now there's another thing we can do. Now once this, here, you know what, I want to leave this guy open because they take forever. Not open, but shrunk over here. And we'll see if we can't get this guy in here on, yeah, he's going to be taking people. Now this is the track that we need to do left-hand rule like we're in Britain, right? Because we don't care how long it takes them to get people there. So they're going to come up this way, and then they're going to, well, if they're just dropping off to this one, which I think we'll do just to get started, right? They're going to come around here and then return. So let's start signaling some of this. And I think I may signal it, I'll do a little bit on. For those of you that don't know, and for those of you that do, probably get tired of me saying this, but yeah, and I think I'm going to delete some of these extra nodes like this one when I'm here. But you always want to have, oops, I just did that wrong, right? Because they're going to be coming up this way and back that way. So every time they leave one, they're going to go like this, right? So this would be like leaving this intersection. Even though that doesn't cross in some ways, it would be nice if there was a way that the game didn't recognize that this was crossing, because there's like on this track, like where you wouldn't need a signal on this right-hand track. All right, anyway, yeah, so we can put this guy a little closer. All right, and what that does is prevent them from getting into the intersection. Now this guy's going to need to be a chain in. Right, and then we need another chain here. And then what I can do is come here and delete that. All right, so what I'd like to do, you know, what is this? Can't, oop. Can I put one there? Yeah, get rid of that. And just try to keep these as short, more or less, and small as we can, unless there's a reason not to. So what I'm going to do is go around just for this passenger track, which is going to come all the way in here, all the way in here, pick up people here and here, and come back out. Right, so we're going to end up with like a number of trains, probably, you know, we'll just see how it goes, but probably at least 3, one for each of these stations. Each station is the same way, where it can then turn around. Or we could have a train that drops off to all 3, of course. But for now, I want to keep it like 1 to 1 to 1. And so we're probably going to need at least 6 trains in here. And then this guy, of course, is the last stop. He can turn around. But let me signal all this, get rid of a bunch of these extra nodes. Like, look at all these extra nodes in here. And then I'll be right back. And we'll try to move that train in. No sense in taking up 10 minutes of me signaling this one thing out. Then we'll go over it again, in a sense. All right. See you in a second. There we go. I think this track is signaled for the most part. One of the things I never really noticed that you could do before, after probably, I don't know, close to 1,000 hours playing the game. Let's come back here. You know what? I probably could have just clicked on my number 1 button. That is an excellent idea. Radomir gave me that idea to put these signals for, especially when I'm taking away the nodes, but I couldn't get a signal in here. But I realized I could get them on my bridge segments. So we do have at least some signaling in between these stations. Now, again, it was really hard to do this left-hand rule, as you might say, like the British way of driving. But one of the problems with this section of track is that it is backwards, and I don't think the other passenger ones are going to be, well, backwards compared to what I'm used to. I guess that makes it backwards. Sorry, anybody from one of the British driving type countries, but we need to be able to get people in here. Now keep in mind, they're just going to be going right through here, so I really wanted to get these signals to say, no, your next stop is not to come here. You want to drive all the way down here, hit this waypoint, say, over here, and then maybe even this last waypoint, and then come back in. But having said that, I noticed when I was signaling here, which is to get them in the rest of the way, this would probably be backwards, right? If this guy's doing right-hand rule, and this loop here is doing left-hand rule, that's going to be a problem. Now, these were just here for construction purposes, and we got to figure out how we're going to get trains in here. So when it comes to coming up here, we're probably going to disconnect this guy altogether once we know it's working. What I would do is have, do we even need, well, we'll have to see. I'm not too worried about this because there's only one train, well, one route going down there. So just to keep it straight in my head, they're going to be coming up this way, and then this would be a chain in, right? And then what do we need here? Like the less the better. So see, the problem is this guy would really want to go from this track over to that track, not the way we have it now, right? Like if I send him in here, he's going to be facing backwards. I guess we could make this the first stop and then flip them around on that first run, or do we just build something so that they can get in right into this on the other side? I think that's what we want to do. So this is why I say we didn't delete the connections to the, so I'm going to delete this. I shouldn't have electrified that, I guess, huh? Right, so if we delete this and this, and then what I would want is, well, here, let's get rid of those nodes so we can put it, right, I'm not overly thrilled when we have to do this. Yeah, and this could probably, can I come not off of right there? Well, I'm really going to want to put a signal. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. All right, like this would need to come. Yeah, see that? I forgot even how I got that to connect. Yeah, let's come off of here and see. Okay. Right, probably should just make that electrical track from the get-go. Right, so now they can come in there and go into here, and of course we'll have to put a signal on there after we get that built. So let's start getting that built ASAP. Shouldn't take them too long. They're awful close. But then we can't have this signal here, right? Or at least it needs to be a two-way. Right, there we go. So he'll come out and build that, and that leads to another question of getting this one signaled, right? So now this is this one. So this one, what do we need here? Nothing, right? Not unless there's somebody else who's going to use this, but we could talk about using them getting in here. Yeah, I think that's, so in other words, we have this place that our brick train is going to come in, and they could come around here and get into this loop. Now this loop's just going to bring people over to here, probably just one train on there. And then they're not, yeah, this is going to be another passenger loop. So yeah, they could get in this way. So they would have to cut through this guy. Hopefully that would work out. And they come over there. So I don't think we would need this stretch of track, right? As long as they can get in this one and start doing right-hand rule. Yeah, so let's go around and get rid of some of these tracks because they're just confusing me, even if they're not confusing you guys. Right, and then we wouldn't need this stretch. That was more done for construction, right? So a train could come in here, get on this loop, going around in circles, or they could come through here and get on that loop. There's always another 3 of these. Yeah, I can't put a semaphore there where the road is, but there's always more of these. But anyway, the pressing the 1 button really does help. Right, then I could press 2, and it's a lot quicker. There we go. So we really don't need. So the reason for all of that is all of this track here. Yeah, we don't need this. I really don't think, right? Because we're going to get them in here and them in here. So yeah, no, but we can't get over to this one at this point, can we? This is a loop that's going to go up and get our actual coal, but that's okay because that loop could feed in this way somehow. Yeah, so I'm going to delete all of this. If I make a mistake, we can always rebuild it, right? All right, so we're going to get rid of all of this. And we're going to get rid of these extra nodes I just made. I don't know how much difference those extra nodes make, but when your map's as big as mine, it makes me feel better. So, yeah, so a train can get into this loop from down there is the hope. And so that means we don't need these anymore either. Do you see where this is all going? All right. So that means we can get rid of... Oops. Yeah, let's get rid of all of these signals. And these two nodes. Right, so now when they're coming in and out of here, we know this train's going to come over this way. Oh, good, he's already getting that done. And then, do we even need this? I don't think we do. Not unless we end up having to construct. All right, so we can get rid of this. Which means we can get rid of this and this. So now the only thing we have is this one thing, which, you know, I mean, we have to get trains in and out. There might be a better way or place to do that, but I mean, I guess we could build a track off of here to inject them, which might be smart in the long run, but for now, let's just signal around this guy and we'll hope it goes well. Yeah, do we want this to be a chain? Well, this is just going to be the returning. All right, for now, we're going to do this. See how it works out. All right, and then this guy. Yeah. I don't mind a bunch, like a good amount of signaling on this line. Try to keep them moving. The signals are free, so it's not like they're going to cost you a lot. And then, yeah, maybe we'll just put one on this end. Because, again, I don't really care too much about their returning. That one we might have to rethink in a second, but there we go. So, more nodes. Always more nodes. All right, and then we'd have to just signal this one. And there really shouldn't ever be much in the way of trains in on. See, the problem is that the ones coming in this way then mess up the ones coming up that way. So we might even delete that and just like rebuild it when we need it, just for the sake of game weakness in a sense. Like, but we'll see. It probably won't cause too many problems. We'll worry about signaling that one out later. Just one track at a time here, right? So I'm just focusing on these two at that point. And then, yeah, that jumps right over here, so we're good to go. So we should be able to put a train on there and have it go around in circles. So let's see. Oh, we built another train. Let's switch blueprints. So I want to start building some more of these here. Now, I'm not sure. We're going to build most of the trains, but I'd like to at least, not for the sake of YouTube, if nothing else, get these trains going. At least one on each track so that we can start going to the next step. And you know, I'll between episodes or whatever, or as we play, we'll be building these things. So we'll shrink that back down. Now, I had this guy open because we're very quickly getting these paths done, but we're going to have those couple little tiny. All right, that one's not done. It certainly looks done. Yeah, so they're just about ready for us. Good. So we can close that, and we can get this locomotive. And since he's hopefully going to be able to come in this way, yeah, now we'll leave that signaling alone for a minute. Yeah, I am really tempted to build a track up to there, but what I want him to do, and I've noticed this is a bit of a... Yeah, you know, I think I'm going to start... I'll send them to a different one, but they don't like you can't click on a waypoint. Oh, you can. Maybe did that just change? Oh, no, I know what it is. When you go to start this train from the depot, you can't send them to a waypoint first. Like, they have Have to go to a station. So now, oh, well, that's a question too. You know what? We're going to get rid of this. That's the first one that I did, right? This is number 2. So because I can already see people waiting on this platform until we ramp up people. And then you're just going to come to here and then go back to your waypoint. All right, let's zap over to him and see if he comes out of here and doesn't just get a question mark. Keep your fingers crossed. See, watch what happens. Oh, no, he did go to the waypoint. Okay, good. He didn't get a question mark. He didn't get, you know, I have a problem type thing until he got to right there. Yeah, this is... I don't understand why this signaling is red unless it's picking up a train in this depot or something. But we'll just... I've just been... Here, let's do 2. All right. Now, you should clear that up. Oh, what do we got going on here? Oh. Now, you know what? Return. This guy. This wasn't the problem we had, but... Right. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of... Might as well get rid of that signal, too. He's got to... Come on, you can do it. I know you can. Yep, there you go. So this guy was the guy I took the tour with, and I forgot all about him, and he was... I don't know how long, but he was running around the map. But there he is. Now he's back at home. All right, so now let's see about... what happened there? Oh, jeez. Lazeki. Yeah, we need a new name for that, don't we? What is this? Yeah, we definitely need a new name for that one. All right, so I want you to go... to here. Yeah. All right. Now you can get out at least, I hope. Yeah, see, now this is a problem because it's blocking all that off, right? But maybe I should be able to put a signal to at least let them get out, right? And that should probably be a... yeah, I had probably some construction signaling going on here. Yeah, so I started getting rid of signals because of the trains not being able to come out of here and go into here, and then it's picking up a weird red signal off of that depot or something. All right, but there we go. So we got that guy, and let's just shrink him up, and let's see how RevTech Auto Railway. There, yeah, so we're making these. Oh, we do have a finished vehicle. Oh, that's our other locomotive. So let's send that locomotive into here. Oh, it's full. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad I built 2. We'll be getting those in a minute, but I do want to do. So now that we have like some people on the way, what I'm thinking of is that we should get. And there's 2 reasons, by the way. We have a bit of an educational crisis. If you see, we have some adult-ish looking people in there, and that's not good. So we ran out of educated workers in this area. So we should have a trolley bus depot, and I'm thinking that we should get our trolley buses going, and I'm hoping they do this in the smart way. Now, do we have... Yeah, I think there was at one point I didn't have the proper track. I think it was between here and here, and so I had to rebuild that section of road, or at least add that. Well, no, did I have to rebuild it? I don't know. It was pain, but I did do that. That was between the episodes. Yeah, so let's buy new vehicles now. I don't never know with these trains. It doesn't. It's like unlike some games. I mean, I would think. Why don't we get the biggest? 164, that's 4 million. I mean, I don't necessarily plan on building them. I'm not sure how you would get them over here anyway. I guess we'd drop them off. We can't, can we build them? Yeah, well, you know what, we're going to at least get a couple. Let's just do this. Let's first buy a couple. All right, now you're 70 or 65. I mean, you seem like a nice one. Uses a lot of engine power. Yeah, let's get 2 of these. All right, and then I think I can click on you. So what I would do is have you, and this is another thing I thought of. Can we do one-way roads around here? Make this like a one-way loop, or will that cause too many problems? Let's just see what happens. And as much as anything, because I'd like to get these going. Let's just, you know, say go from here to here. Now you know what? We probably want. Right, we probably want another one to do the opposite thing. All right, so if we opened up this guy, he would go. I got that one. All right, he would go around the opposite way. Did I get you sent? All right, so there we go. So he's going. And then he's going. Now, do we have these? Yeah, people are sitting there waiting. Now, there shouldn't be too many. Now, what are you doing? Now, see, that's a little bit of a problem, but I think some people are coming here for workers because we just, like, at times I've literally seen it backed up to this like crosswalk. Like, it's just this massive rush to get workers from that bus stop there. But there we go. Now, are you? Yeah, go look. We got two passengers, 6 students. So I'm not sure. Obviously, we got to get a lot more people over here. But I figured the start of it would be to at least get a couple trolley buses going and start seeing what happens. Now, I'm not sure that this is going to go too well until we really ramp up the number of people. But then, yeah, so let's close these. And our railway production line, yeah, is going right along. And then we have, yeah, how are you making out? Yeah, well, you're heading over here. Very good. That's what we wanted to see. At least you're not heading all over the map either. Going there pretty directly. It's funny when I sent that guy back, the one that was kind of clogging things up. He was cutting through the bakery, and I'm like, "What are you doing over here?" Because I was over there building on our pollution lake farm. I had to laugh. In any event, let's see. Can we build actual? No, you know what? We'd have to buy the blueprint, right? Oh yeah, we can get. Yeah, this is. You know what? Let's get the big one. 52 million. Done. All right, and then now the other thing I'm going to want to do is, if you look, oh yeah, this guy. Ooh, yeah, that's enough. That's enough covered halls. I took the guy that was like these trucks. If you don't take them out of here, they keep plucking away your vehicles. So let's open both of these. Right, and I'm going to, where's the depot? Over here. Yeah, so we're going to send both of these guys. That's construction office. All right, let's send both of these guys out of here. We will get our car thing going again, but if you look here, and something else I did while I was waiting, we have a lot of, well, more covered halls than I planned because I kind of forgot we were making covered halls. But that's good because we're going to need a lot of those for the farm, right? So I think we have enough combines, and certainly we can build tractors really quickly. Should almost looking to see if they're actually more profitable than cars because we can pump out some tractors. So now that this guy is, you know, they're not going to take these guys. Oh, you know what though? Well, that's right. I would just rather do it. Hey, you go pick up a couple and take them over here if that's the case, right? Because we want to micromanage it. So let's see, what can we? Yeah, trolley bus. Now the number of workers, yeah, let's spread this back out. It'll slow down our trains a little bit, but yeah, how about we do a third? We'll keep the trains going, you know, a good amount, because I'm a little bit more anxious for the trains. But there we go. So we should make some trolley buses, which won't hurt us in other places too, because we can always, well, possibly always need more. That, you know, when we start doing our efficiency thing. But yeah, there's all our farm vehicles and and a bunch of covered hauls. And then, oh, are we still making dumpers? Yeah, let's, you know what, let's just cancel this right now. I don't know that we need, but we got a lot of dumpers. I'm not sure that we needed all those. But we can always sell them, right? It's better for them to be producing something. Fire trucks, we seem to have a few. All right, well, let's head back over here. Okay, we'll worry about those kind of efficiency things later. So, did our train... Where is he? He probably... Yeah, he would be coming up here. Up there he is. Okay. I could have just done the eyeball thing, I know. Let's just make sure he gets in here. I'm not sure that he's going to pick anybody up. Other than... Yeah, you know what we want to do? We don't want passengers. We don't want students. Here. Yeah. No, I don't want passenger. And then same thing with you. I don't think we really... All right, come on, thank you. Now I'm going to do this and that. Good. Well, he seems to be making it over here. Yep. Look, he's on his one-way track the right way. And he should go all the way over, and he should skip this stop. I hope. Perfect. And go to that waypoint. And then come around and try to pick up people from here. We have 18 workers, so that's a good little test. How are we doing here on making our next one? Oh, look, we got one. Good. Well, let's check this one out first. Like I said, if nothing else in this episode, if we can get one train or one train set, tram, whatever this is, going, then we'll know we can get more, right? We can. It's just a matter of ramping it up, and we can get some more people in here. And then we need to really start looking at people's happiness, and which seems pretty darn good. Ooh, not so much there. What are you? No culture. Yeah, well, we're getting you a bus. We're getting the tram, this thing going. So hopefully your lack of culture could be rectified here in the near future, maybe. And we're building more trams, so we'll put them on, or more trolleys on there. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. All right, so you picked up 22 workers. And by the way, I'm starting where the workers would be needed. And what I really would like to do, if we can get to it before the end of the episode, it would be great, just to see if we can get some coal into one of these power plants at the very least. It would be really nice. Yeah, see, we'll drop our coal off here. Maybe we can ride with them. Very industrial looking, isn't it? The whole game kind of has that little bit of a stark feel to it. You know, it's not like happy, bright color villages and all. Like, pulling a pretty big hill there, isn't he? But there he goes. Now let's see. The other thing to check out as we're up here is making sure they get to both of those. All right. Yeah, good. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Yeah, I guess we might as well split them 50-50. I don't think you really have to tell it split them 50-50. I think it would anyway. All right, and then we should see coal coming out of here. Hey! Look at that, it's a long run for coal. All right, so we should see... Oh, look at that. There we go. This is why we test things. There's a... I'll come back to it in a second. All right, I missed one. Yeah. Did we miss any others? No, we got those two. Okay, so we'll get that built. And this is again why we just put one on, but that's good. We're actually making coal over here. Now, the idea over here is going to be the next, let's just do it like one step at a time in a sense. So the next step is going to be to get people to this stop, right? Now we maybe could get them to more stops. And like I said, hopefully we have, you know, train stops close enough. Yeah, so this will be good. We can get people to the firehouse. So let's assign this while we're do this. Not that it matters, but then we'll, I don't know, let's do 6% to the firehouse. Now there should be buses up here, but it's good to get that in there. And then we'll split the rest evenly between these two. So do we have another one of these? Yes, we do. All right. Oop. This game save's kind of scared me there. You would think I'd be used to it. All right, so now this one is this train track here. So I'm probably, if you see a pause coming up where they could come in here and drop off their people, and then they have to come all the way around, and then they could turn around back here. There just wasn't enough room to turn around after this stop. But that's also the reason for this double thing here, right? So that they could kind of bypass each other. So in other words, the train that goes to here would be able to just use, say, this track and then come back on and not interfere with this one. So in other words, the guy coming in here would stop here, but then if there was another train coming by, theoretically at least, he could use this other track and maybe not get slowed down by this one. And again, it's kind of tight in here. I could have left a little more room, but then they'll turn around here and head back the other way, I hope. And then, so this one's going to be the regular right-hand rule, and they're going to come all the way down here. That's this track, right? Notice they switched over. So then this track here is going to be this inner track. It's going to come all the way down past here and pick up people here. So let me go ahead and again, I'll signal this out if I get to any tricky parts, like let's decide what we do with this, right? Because that's could be affecting them, though maybe not, because it's just the construction area. But what happens is the one coming this way gets affected by the one going back out and vice versa, which I don't like. All right, so let's see. And if we're done building rails, then we need to get this guy, these trains out of here. But let me go do some signaling, and I will be right back again. Okay, we're signaled, and took a minute to look. I'll go over what I did. Just it's not too exciting. If you've seen me signal out the loop before, you've seen it, but I'll go over it in a second. So I was looking here, and obviously this could cause a problem. This is our loop that's going to be bringing coal down to here, and this is where we were doing construction. So we need to be able to get someone onto the coal. Now what I'm hoping that we can do, if you look here, we could build a track from here to here. So they would be able to come in here, go around here, come back out here. Now, I don't know if we're ever going to get them back out of here, but we'll cross that bridge if we ever had to. And then I'm thinking of building a track here if possible. Let's see what the wireframe looks like. A little redness, and I'm more worried about this road, which we could, yeah, I mean, we need the road for the fire trucks, but we could also, actually we don't necessarily, do we? I mean, that's really more of a construction road. The fire trucks could come up this way and in, hopefully. All right, so let's see. Can we get a track? Will it let us? We'll just go right with the electrical track and yeah, but you're oh, we're gonna take it. Yeah, can we come off of here? Yeah, pretty much. I think that's pointing pretty close to that one, right? I think I can. Again, this is just Alright, now can we still get in there and construct you? Probably not with all the signaling that I just did. It would be a real pain to get that constructed. So I think we're just going to close your eyes, purists of we're just going to fund that with rubles. There you go. Right, so now we have a track that would go from here over onto this one, which means we can get rid of this altogether. Now, one of the reasons I was pretty determined to do that too is because I couldn't. Oops. That's one. I can do the one, but I can't do the other. Right. Now, will you let me do this one now that that one's out of the way? Okay. We don't have to get rid of every node in the world. So there we go. So that frees that up from any interference, and I wasn't able. The track that we would have needed was the one that went from here to here, which would have crossed, I'm sorry, from here to here, but it would have crossed it, and I couldn't get a signal in between anyway, so even if we were going to do that here, I'd have wanted to swing it wider where we could at least signal in between the two, which we couldn't the way it was. So there we go. So as far as this goes, now we're going to go from down here all the way up and around. And one of the things I did, probably the only real noteworthy thing, here, let's turn on the signaling so you guys can see, is I have quite a few signaling. Now this is going to be right-hand rule, like normal in a sense, for us anyway. But there's no signaling, if you look, this whole length from all the way over by this bridge. So I do have a fair amount of signaling on the track coming back, you know, just to keep it flowing, like when they do turn around down here, like just sort of keep them, get them off of this track as much as we can. Right now down here, I have a bunch of signaling on the return track. And in general, I have a bunch of signaling on the incoming track as well. But so like there's a little bit of extra signaling here just to get them off of the other track for the trains that are coming by this way. All right, so now there I didn't like put any signaling between here and here. Now hopefully that won't cause a problem. We might want to put some more signaling in here just to get them, again, off of this track. If they're bypassing, I'm thinking, you know, they should just buzz right through there. And I don't think we're going to have that many trains, so, but we'll see how it goes. And can always add and subtract it. So up until about this point, we have good signaling. And then I don't have any signaling on this returning track all the way down to here to hopefully maybe put a gap in them. Now again, I don't think we really need too many trains on here. Now this I just sort of signaled as best we could, but you can see the mess that this causes. So we may be shortly here we might just be demolishing this altogether at that point. And if we ever have to do, I just can't see us doing that much more construction. Let's turn this wireframe off. All right, so they should be able to come down here, loop around, and head back out the other way. So let's get this guy. How's our railway? Yep, so we need to get this guy. You know what, let's go. I think we're better off sending him. I probably should have done this. Send him to a depot first, and then we're going to have to get him out of here. Oh, no, he should be able to get out. They just can't come back in without hitting a red signal. Yeah, like I said, I think they're picking up a red signal from this track. Now, if there's another, there could be another train car sitting in there that I can't reach, right? Just, you know, I deleted those 4. It could have been 5 for all I know. All right, good. So this guy's now in the depot. Let's get rid of this at least. And we'll head back over here and see what... So he's going to be coming in this way, I hope. I didn't really pay too much attention. He should be able to come up here. And then he'll come... Oh, do I... No. Can he get over there? Oh, no, he's going to come up this way. All right, so his first stop can be this, right? So we're going to do waypoint, stop, right? And he's going to come in here, come down this track. It switches over, so it's not, and then it comes into here, and we're just going to drop some people off here. All right, and then we're going to tell him to go to this waypoint, right? Because we don't want them, we'll keep the trains closer, not that it matters, but we'll have them come over to there. And then just to make sure he doesn't keep going, all right, I tell him to come to this waypoint. He's got a lot of waypoints. So in other words, I don't want him to come down here, which leads me to another thought. Same thing here with this other guy. Where is he at? Of course, I won't be able to find him. Is he all the way over here? When he comes to drop people off here, I guess the best way to do him is this. All right, I don't want him ever to go this way, right? Like, in other words, he could come back over onto this track. I want him to go, after he drops off here, which is this stop, I want him to have to go to, like, this waypoint before he goes back. So that way, you know, because, like, they will decide to go, like, all the way down here and turn around and then come back. But I'd rather them be waiting in here. All right, so there we go. So let's see if this guy can get in and do his thing. All right, I see movement and not an error right off the bat. Cool. All right, so how are we doing? How are we doing here? We are making. Now, how are we doing? So these take quite a while. Okay, well, we're making. All right, so there we go. So now, let's assume that's going to work for a minute. Oh, the other thing, I was looking at the time. What are we at now? We're probably at like just past 45 minutes. Rather than even, this episode's going to go over and become 2 parts. And I don't know exactly how long it's going to take, but I'm assuming it's going to be under, say, 2 hours. But I think I'm just going to keep going and put a break in it at some point. Right, so this will end abruptly somewhat, and we'll go to part 2. Rather than, you know, because it's really like all one big thing, and it'll just be a 2-part series for the sake of the length of the video, because there is a physical limit in the electronic world there. So good. So this guy should be coming over, and we should be able to then be processing coal ore at that point. Right in here, probably, at least in these couple that are going to have some people. And that should spit out here, come down to this station here, and then come over to here. So that means we would need to be able to pick up the coal, would sort of be the next step in the process, right? So if you look, this loop, this would, again, right-hand drive, I think, pretty sure. It will come up here, jump under that bridge, so it becomes this track right there. It comes down underneath these bridges, drops off coal to the power plants, and then comes over to here. Now, probably really want to consider, now that I look at this, and knowing the way those trains stop, we probably should have kept doing some construction. I think I'm going to end up auto building some stuff. So let's see, can we get, let's make that, can we do like this and then over, right, and then just because I know building is in the way. Right, we could leave this guy go a little long. Oop. Keep hitting the wrong track. Let's make sure at least like a whole train can get in here, because why not? Right, and then jump over there before the turn starts messing me up. So we could stage a train waiting. But I know the problem is if we get many trains in here, like they don't just drop off as much. Sometimes they just sit here and wait. So we could maybe space them out where only the trains coming here to wait would use this track, and then the other trains could come here. Though I did want them to do bang, bang, and then out, but we might end up doing it a little bit different. But we'll see. This will give us a lot more flexibility. And yeah, I'm just going to purchase these for the sake of not having to redo everything. But at least you see me doing it, right? And I'm not cheating. So there we go. And then I guess the same thing would be true here, wouldn't it? Yeah, probably. Yeah, let's come out here. Yeah, that's about as far as makes sense. And then we would have... Oh, look, we got a power problem I can see already. Can you... All right, so we're going to... Probably could have thought this through a little better. Right, so there we go. So now look at this. We don't have power right there. Somebody over here, I bet you... you know what? Somebody over here has nothing to do. Let's give that to nothing to do. So that means we built that other conveyor. There we go. So we'll get that built because that'll be more than a little important. Now we can pull off power here. We should... yeah, we're going to probably have a bit of a problem with chicken and the egg, aren't we? Like if we don't have any power here, are we even going to be able to fire this up? Yeah, we have no power. Oh, you know what? We got another one. And this guy's like an orphan altogether. Yeah, let's... Yeah... Well, where's the fire company coming from? Fire company's coming from there, so I think we'll be just as well off. Can you... Yeah. Game save. Yeah, good. All right. This we will construct. Ah, we closed our... Hit escape. All right, so now somebody over here is doing nothing, right? That was weird. All right, you auto picked that up. Very good. All right, so we'll get that built, and that will help a whole lot. All right, so we're going to build that, build that. What was I doing? Oh, just making sure we have this. So, yeah, so this will be coal coming in for the bricks, right? So it'll prioritize, in a sense, the coal coming into here, since it will drop off to those first, and then hopefully just move right along. And then swing around here, drop off whatever's remaining, and then it'll head all the way back. And then when it comes back, it will drop off to here. Right, so this is the other end of the loop coming back this way into these two. And then they will drop off to train stations where we can take the coal out to the rest of the world. So it's not until we get coal over to our power plants and our bricks that we would actually drop it off over here. Very similar to the idea of our other one, just on a bit of a grander scale. So, yeah. All right, so let me, once again, I'll pause it just for the sake of it. I'm going to come in here and signal all of this with much the same idea, right? Trying to make sure they're pretty efficient getting into here. And then on the return loop, well, we don't really care about the spacing here, do we? Passengers are more critical. This, you know, this is not as critical to be as efficient, but plenty of signaling to put in here. So I will get that done. You know, again, just really the boring rule of, you know, chain in. This is a bit of a mess here, isn't it? Yeah, I could put one here. Regular signal out. And I'll just go right on around and signal all this up, and I will be back. And hopefully by then we'll have gotten those other things constructed, and I keep closing stuff. Well, you know what? Where was that guy? Let's just see if he's close. If he's close, we'll take a look at him before we... Yeah, you know what? He is pretty close. Let's just... well, let's just say we can hold our horses here and see if he actually gets in here. We should check. Yeah, students. Okay, so now we sort of have a problem of nobody's... Yeah, see, we've got everybody going to the brick platform for good reason. Yeah, you know, you... Yeah, let's do this. Footpaths. Well, this is why we test. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Yeah, let's take this guy over to there, and yeah, that should be pretty good. Yeah, so let's commit to those. And right. So, and then, you know what? I don't know if this guy has too much to do. Yeah. Now, by the way, one of the things that's taken the longest about the construction over here is there's no bricks. All right, well, there we go. So let's just see. Did that guy get in here and snuck right past me? Yeah, so he's going around. I don't think he doesn't have any workers, which is kind of okay, but we'll keep an eye on him, making sure. He doesn't have a question mark yet, so I'm assuming he's going to be in good shape. But let me get the signaling done on this track. Hopefully in the meantime they'll get this built, so by the time we're ready we can get another, you know, one of those trains that we have sitting over there with the hopper cars over here, and see if we can actually get some coal and get our power plants fired up. So I will see you guys in a few minutes.